Hello viewers, good afternoon and you're welcome to another edition of My Opinion on Clevenard Tv In Diaspora. As usual, my name remains Franca Idemudia. Now this morning I have a guest in the house in the person of Adesanya Omoniyi. He is a politician and together we'll be discussing his plans towards Remo North in his state in Ogun State. Mr. Omoniyi, you're welcome to My Opinion.
Thank you very much. Thank you, viewers.
So let's start with this. Can you please introduce yourself? Let's get to know you. Who is Mr. Adesanya?
My name is Omoba Adesanya Omoniyi Adekoya. Politician, economist, and I will also say I'm an humanitarian.
Is that right? So can you tell us more about your qualifications, your educational qualifications?
Okay, let me start from the beginning. I obtained first school living certificate from Wesley School, Remo North local government. And after that, I went to Sharpade Grammar School, which is the center of activities in Remo North constituency as it is. So I had my senior school certificate from there before I proceeded to Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwe, where I earned a bachelor degree with honors in economics. I later will become a full member of the Nigerian Economic Society. And after that, I attended the National Open University of Nigeria in Lagos, where I obtained a master's degree in public administration.
All right, you are a politician. Can you tell us more or a bit about your work experience as regards politics in Nigeria?
Well, my work experience is that, I'm not one of those who will tell you that their profession is being a politician. I happened to start a career in banking when I started as a marketing officer with Skybank, with defunct Skybank. I will later go to Lagoon Home Savings and Loans Limited, where I served in different positions, and I later left as a deputy financial controller. After that, I was appointed as a special advisor in Remo North local government in 2012. Special advisor on the Millennium Development Goals, Youth and Sports Development. After leaving the office, after the expiration of that tenure, I started my own company. And since then, I've been a social entrepreneur, whereby I've been able to work with the communities to make sure that people are empowered, especially in the area of agriculture.
So in all you've explained so far, do you see yourself as a seasoned politician?
Yes. I would like to say so. There are instances whereby you will not want to be arrogant, but there are instances whereby you must state facts. I did not just start politics. It has been an intergenerational thing from my family. Even it goes beyond the advent of colonialism in Nigeria, where one of my ancestors, Adekoya, who is mostly known as Lucy Kanejaye, because they call us Omolusi, that is the offsprings of Lucy. For that particular Lucy, he was even the first Parakoyi of Oje Market in Ibadan. And he was a seasoned politician and a businessman. And when you go down the line, my own grandfather paternally was supposed to be the governorship candidate, late Omoniyi Adekoya. He was supposed to be the governorship candidate of Unity Party of Nigeria in the defunct Second Republic. It will be a Second Republic between 1979 to 83. But as fate will have it, he died late in 1977. So that was truncated. And when you at the beginning of this present republic, even my own father was the chairman of Ogun State Council of Arts and Culture. And you know, when you are from such home, the activities are natural for you to participate. So, and going from such, I would say when I was a very youthful man. So, and I believe I must have been in politics for the past 25 years, which is a way for me to admit that I'm a seasoned politician.
Mm. All right, you're obviously a very young man and an economist at that. But why have you chosen politics?
Yes, everybody is a political animal. And just like I said, I have passion for development. There are instances where I've made recommendations for even the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the policies were adopted and are still being used or modified till today. So, and you know, if people who feels there are right things to be done don't participate, people who will continue to do it wrongly will be doing it wrongly, and will just be sitting down and be complaining. And for personal and social interests, well, let me say, not say directly personal, let me say for enlightened personal interest, as J.S. Mills will put it. So, and for social interest, people like us have to participate actively in shaping our society for the better every now and then.
So in this school of thoughts, do you have any role model, someone you look up to?
I would like to tell you that I have role models.
Okay, so let's get to it.
You know, hello? Very many role models, you know, growing up, influenced by a lot of people, both within and outside Nigeria. I will tell you the late MK Abiola greatly influenced my political thoughts, not to mention people like the sage himself, Baba Obafemi Awolowo, like late Chief Gani Fawehinmi, and one of the people I very much love, former president of the United States, Mr. Bill Clinton, and you know, this Mehmet Schroeder of Germany. I love a lot of people, and as I told you earlier, even within my family, there are a lot of role models. So I have quite a number of them.
It's all right. So what exactly have you learned from these role models? Because when you look at it, and politics, actually, you will be dealing with people, and with the mindset of making a change in the society. Now, with the people you've mentioned so far as your role model, what exactly are you bringing on to the table?
I can summarize everything to one sentence. That in everything you do with the society, you must make sure that you put the society first, and do all things that will bring standard of living of the people to them. Don't do anything that will encourage or cause instability in the society.
Is that right? You are vying into the for a membership into the House of Assembly. Why the interest in the House of Assembly?
Like I told you, that's a very big question. Like I told you, our community in Remo North constituency we have been having, people have been representing us in the House of Assembly for a long time. They have tried their best. And I feel the need to do better, to do more. It's not about just being a member of the House to write honorable before your name, or for you to earn salary for 4 years or so. But it is about impacting in the lives of the people. And when things are done in Ogun State, they tend to say that Remo North constituency is a minor. They tend to believe that there is no contribution that the constituency can bring to the table in the state. I would not like to mention other constituencies that are doing things, but we are grossly being marginalized. Anybody who comes around to anywhere in Remo North, from Ishara to Ode to Akaka to Urileoko to Ipara to Ilara, you see that our infrastructure is almost non-existent. You see roads that are just pathways in the townships. There is a difference between pathways and roads. You see pathways, you don't see roads. You see electricity almost non-existent. Despite that they are rotating it one day off, one day on with another constituency. The one day off, the one day on that we are supposed to even have, we go for weeks without having them. And all these our artisans, all these our traders, even students, they cannot achieve many things, and people rely more on generators, on which they incur exorbitant costs. And when you see the state of affairs, when people are being employed in the state government services, it is very pathetic that they don't employ much people from Remo North, if at all they employ. They call us. There was a time a sitting governor once called us Remo Northern. You can imagine such marginalization and dehumanization to a whole lot of people. And I think as at now, the National Bureau of Statistics put our population at over 87,000 people. And you call a whole 87,000 people Remo Northern, when even the whole number of votes that will elect a governor into office in Ogun State is just far less than 300,000 votes. So because of the gross marginalization, it's not to cause chaos or to fight, but we must put our voice, we must raise our voice. Our voice must be noted, and it must have impact in what is happening in our constituency. Our infrastructure, we must be empowered also as a people, and all sorts of things that is about governing and governance, we must benefit from them. That is what spurred me to contest, to aspire for this position.
Okay, now you've analyzed what the deficiencies in a Remo North. What are the constituents expecting of you now that you are representing them, if voted into power?
The constituents of Remo North should expect that in me, like it has always happened. Because even when I was a student in the university, I was the Secretary General of the Remo North Student Alliance. I made sure that we facilitate admission for over 200 of our colleagues into different tertiary institutions nationwide. It was during that time that our local government was forced, the first local government to so do in Nigeria. They were forced to pay bursary to students of Remo North. We facilitated it. So it's not as if it's a thing that I've not been able to do. This is something that has been achieved in the past. And when I'm able to now go into government at the state level, I am sure that all this marginalization will stop. My constituents in Remo North will know that when their children are supposed to be employed, those who are duly qualified, they will be qualified, they will be employed into the state services. And we must note that this government at all levels cannot employ all of us alone. But there are certain programs of the state government by which they empower people. I know that about a year or 2 years ago, the state government facilitated training for artisans. My constituents will benefit. I'm not sure if anybody from Remo North, out of the 500 participants, benefited from that program. My constituents will continually benefit from such program. In terms of infrastructure, you know what our infrastructural development should only lack is the zeal for somebody in government to say, put this thing in budget. We all know that government will not do anything that is not in the budget. But I will make sure that when I'm in the House of Assembly, I mean, no budget will pass.
We're sorry about the break in transmission, to the network issues and all that. Now, Mr. Adesanya, it's good to have you back. Yeah, you were discussing your plans for your constituents, and you've established one or two things about that. But I really want you to discuss more on the youth of your constituents. Do you have any special or particular package for the youth of your constituents?
Yes, very much yes. You know, anybody who is thinking about development and is not factoring the youth is not thinking of anything at all. And how do we, you know, myself, I went through the part of youth development, both as a beneficiary and as an organizer. And how do we go about the issue of youth development? We first of all need to identify, which is the plan I have. We first of all need to identify that the fact that the youths, the population of the youths is significantly much more than the population of the aged. So if we are to think towards that path, we now have to identify what do the youths need. And now we know that the youths need education, both academic and vocational. The youth need employment, both salary, employment, and trade. We must not just think of employment in the confine of just go and work for somebody. We must be able to train and nurture entrepreneurs. So the youth need social protection. The psychological needs of the youth, you know, that means the psychological needs of the youth needs to be very well taken care of. We know how many young people get married these days, which is one of the things that are lacking in our society, because the homes are not getting glued together. We must identify that the youth need to protect their own future too, because the youth of today will become the aged tomorrow. So having identified those 4 factors, we now have to sit down and say, how do we go about it? As a government, we must do it. As individual legislator, it will form a core component of my constituency project. How do we support the youth? And how do we sustainably do that? So that is very much within my plan for the society.
So can you really analyze in any of the plans you have? Can you analyze any of the particular interests you have for the youth? Is there anything you can talk about?
Yes. You know, I said we have identified 4 basic problems affecting the lives of the youth. When I say, what are the needs of the youth, which are training. It's not only academic now. We are talking of vocational and academic. When you just see, it is painful when you're going on roaming about the streets, you see some group of young people, 10 to 15, sitting down idly from Monday to Friday. Some will just be seeking, how do we give us something, give us something. It's not because they are mad, it's not because they are lazy. It's because they don't know what path to follow. So by that, we'll now make sure that when I say we, I mean my team. So we now make sure that we organize those youths by mobilizing them, training them, the ones that can go for. I know of people who were idling around on the streets like that, and they are now government officials. They are now big men now, because the society in which they found themselves happen to be able to nurture them properly in that case. So we will now have to nurture these young men and women, train them vocationally. We have to partner with different trade associations. You have the Carpenter Association, you have the Tailors Association, we have to partner with them, train these people vocationally, and they set standard so that it's not just training them that they should be able to do the set standard, so that they will be able to be internationally competitive. Because whether we like it or not, according to Mr. Bill Clinton, he said the world is now a global village. So we train them so that they will be internationally competitive. And for those who are to go towards the path of academics, we will make sure that we nurture them. They will be able to get an academic education. They will be able to make sure that they go to as far as possible, even if they want to get to PhD level. We have to find ways of supporting them, so that at the end of the day, there will be a kind of an equilibrium in the society whereby everybody gets productive and everybody is at peace. And when we say the youths need employment, obviously after training them, most of the youths that are not employed now in that constituency is because they are not employable. They have from one time to the other gone to all these some workplaces, filling station, and so to make sure that they get some jobs, which is not sustainable, because I don't know how much they will, how long they will be sustaining themselves on 10,000-15,000 naira monthly, and they are adults. So because they don't have professions, some even are secondary school dropouts, we will make sure that we polish all that. We will nurture them to make sure that they get to the standard basic level of education and train them. And when we train them, it means they are employable. Those of them who can toe the path of entrepreneurship, we will mold them into becoming successful entrepreneurs. It's not only to give them money, we have to work around the entire business cycle for them and make sure that we continue working with them to sustain them, and more businesses will come off their businesses, and those who will go towards the path of paid employment, they will have been employable for such. So, and when we say they must be able to protect their future, it means there is a level of financial literacy that they must attain, which we will provide for them. What is happening in the Western world is not very special. It's because some people make up their mind that this is what we must do. So we will now institutionalize it. We will make it a government policy that is what must happen.
All right. As someone in the political terrain, You must have your manifestos, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so can we get to hear some of them?
You know, my manifesto as a person, will be a subset of the manifesto of my party, the People's Redemption Party.
Okay.
And
We'll actually come to that, but let's just hear your manifestos first, then we'll go over to your party later. So we'll give you time to discuss more on that.
From what I've said before, we will know that I am pushing for an egalitarian society whereby nobody will be a slave to another, which is even the Yoruba concept of living, Yoruba societal concept. I don't want to extend it to the whole of Africa, though I know it is the same. That everybody will be able to survive on their own. Although we still have to interact to achieve that survival, that we must make sure that nobody is lacking. Everybody will be able to be productive and to earn the benefits of that productivity.
It's all right. Now, in Nigeria, we have more than 5 political parties, and then we have the one that most people are very, very familiar with and all that. But you have chosen to go for a party, which is the PRP. Now, can you tell us more about your party and then what PRP stands for?
The People's Redemption Party was actually founded in 1978 under the leadership of Malam Aminu Kano of blessed memory. Because Malam Kano was an Hausa man then, so he used the word Talakawa. But in English, he was simply saying the masses. This is the party of the masses. And when it is the party of the masses, it means power rests with the masses. It means the foundation for development rests with the masses. It means we are all equal in our society. So that is the right. And the party are certain driving principles, which is, like I said, an egalitarian society. We work towards achieving true federalism in Nigeria. It is not this contraption that we presently practice. All these Genjeko, Radu kind of federalism, where governors will now have to go to Abuja every month with their commissioners of finance to be sharing money. We want federalism whereby from every community to the local government to the state will generate what they want. Will generate their businesses, will generate their employment, will generate every infrastructure, everything will be done there is nothing wrong with a local government having factories. We know some people, some local governments in Nigeria, it's not as if it is done outside. Some local governments in Nigeria that are owning businesses. I won't want to mention name, but one very big and successful distillery business is from this southwest. So there is nothing, but when you now say there are laws that are restricting those federal structures from performing as such. So that is what the PRP stands for, that we must make sure that every component of the society is able to be productive and generate what they want to use. That is true federalism. We stand for fairness and equity. It's not, we don't want a society whereby somebody will say is a big man, maybe a big politician or a wealthy man or a monarch or a diplomatic corps member, and we'll just be trampling upon the rights of everybody. That is what PRP stands for. We want fairness and equity in the society. And we want everybody to have access to the highest level of opportunities they can achieve. We don't want restriction for anybody. We want a Nigeria whereby the son of nobody or the child of nobody will become somebody with what he can do, not because of who he knows.
And are you saying that PRP can implement that?
That is our basic driving principle. And if you vote us into government, that is the Nigeria we are to achieve.
Now, I know you said one or two things about the vision for the Remo North, your constituency, but I still want to, in one word, and let's summarize the whole talk so far. What is your vision for your people now? In just a sentence, if that is possible.
The vision for my people is to, Remo North did not just start in the 1996 that they created Remo North local government. There have been previous experiments. In the 60s, we had Shapade. In the Second Republic, we had Idarapo. So, but we now have the present local government as created in 1996. I think that was October 1st, if I can remember very well. The vision of our forefathers for that area is that Remo North constituency should be a commercial hub where there will be industries, where there will be international trade centers. People like Baba Odufuwa, people like Baba Ifekoya, people like Baba Shofodu, people like Baba MS Showole, people like Oluwo Taiwo, Taiwo Ogunfuwa. They planned a society that will be the commercial hub of even Western region then. So my vision is to re-establish that plan so that the distortion that had been going on that plan will be amended. I will be corrected, I mean to say, so that our forefathers will be praying for us from their grave. Because many of those who you see now that are doing politics or that are in public positions in that area now, in that constituency, many of them they are not even aware of what is called the Shapade Master Plan. Because I can say that authoritatively because there was a local government chairman that even said there was no Shapade. So that Shapade is supposed to be the commercial nerve center of Western Nigeria, which we will make sure that we reestablish.
All right. My last question. What is your message for the youth?
My message for the youth is that they should not sit aloof. I became, at the age of 19, I was already an agent at the polling booth, protecting my party then. And if I could do it then, any young man or woman now can do it well. We should get involved. Our youth should get involved in the policy making. It is because they are standing aloof that these elders think that they are not serious. And I interact with all sections of the society. I know that our young men and women are intelligent, they are brilliant, they have that fire in them that they want a good society. I will just encourage them, I will continue to encourage them that they should continue to participate in the political process.
In regards
to votes, when you participate in the political process, voting is part of the process. That's why I'm not restricting it to voting. You will have expected me to say, go and get your PVC so that you can vote and defend your votes. That I'm saying that it goes beyond that. All of us it is mandatory for us to get our PVC, not even the youth alone. So as soon as you are 18, go and get your PVC. Even the continuous voters registration process is going on. I think INEC said a few days ago that they have extended it to August. So we should all go and get our PVCs in February and March 2003. We vote for People's Redemption Party so that we have a better society.
All right, thank you so much, Omoba Adesoya. It was a nice more than 30 minutes with you on my opinion, and we do hope you and your team will come back here and discuss more on your plans for the 2023. So thanks so much for being on board once again.
I will say, Remo, not people. When you go to polling booth next year, vote for your man, your son, your friend, Adesanya, Adekoya, and People's Redemption Party into the Ogun State House of Assembly. Thank you very much.